Okay guys, very quickly on the different cues that you have to remember while you're benching or bench pressing, any variation, especially the barbell bench press. So to start off, we first understand what is going to be the position when you're lying on the bench. When you're starting off and you're just sitting and then lying on the bench. So we go top down from the upper body. When you're lying on the bench, you grab the bar tight. It's roughly a shoulder width level or a little apart. Depends. Every person has their own stance or own distance between the arms, the hands. But usually it's shoulder width or little, one thumb distance apart. And also, if you have a normal Olympic bar, you see the knurling, it's smooth here. Then you have one small line here and one small line here. So I rather I take a thumb's distance from the smooth part, and then I hold it like this. It works really well for me for both the overhead press and for the bench press. So that is how you are going to hold the bar. Now there are two ways that people hold the bar. Either you hold it with thumbs down, like you're holding normal grip. Some people hold it in a false grip, this way. So the thumb is up. Some people, get a better activation in the false grip. The only problem is, if at all the bar slips due to any problem with your finger or with your forearm or wrist, then it directly falls on you. Right? So that's not very safe to do, but still people do use it. So once you've grabbed the bar, now you're going to set the upper back position. For the upper back, we give a cue: scapula down and back. So if you've seen my previous post on Instagram as well, I am a big proponent of scapula retraction and then pressing it down. So usually people give a cue that you imagine bringing all this, both the scapula in your back pockets. It's gonna be together and then down. That way you are holding the upper back in that position, and you're the safest when you're going to press the bar down. Going down, you have the core. You have to brace very heavy, right? You have to take a deep diaphragmatic breath. Use a belt if you want for the bracing, because you have to brace 360 degrees for optimal spinal safety. You have the glutes. Yeah, of course, before that, you see what you have to do with your foot. Usually, if you are a little taller, you're gonna have the entire foot on the ground. I personally don't feel really comfortable with that because probably my bench height isn't that much, and I'm also not very tall. So I put my toe and I fix my toe here. I put it and I rotate it outside. Put it and rotate outside. So you're locking that position there. And also ensure that this foot, your leg, the lower leg, should be at an angle to your upper leg. It should not be 90 degrees. Usually people could do with 90 degrees, but as and when you put your leg out, the knee is in and your foot is out, then your hips tend to go up when you are driving from the leg. So from there, in this position, when your toe is behind the knee, you tend to get a lot of tension in the hips, and you're locking this lower body position with that. Now you're ready to press, and of course, in the end, always see that your head is on the bench. You have to have a neutral alignment of the pelvis and the diaphragm and the spine, right? So if at all your head moves out of position and you're trying to look straight, which most people do, even I have that problem, then you may lose some tension in the upper back, which you don't want, right? When you are locked in your upper back, you're locked in your lower body, now you're ready to push. You're ready to push heavy ass weights. Now if you have a spotter, really good. If you don't, you have to take care that taking the bar out of the rack, out of those pins, you don't have to push it. Okay, a little push is going to be there, but you have to ensure that you are straight arm pulling it down this way. That way you are engaging the lats, the wings. Now the bar should be here, and you have to ensure that you stay for around 2 to 3 seconds here. Because you are staying here, you're going to lock that upper back position more, and you are going to be more under control. From here you press it down. Now you have to understand, you don't have to flare those elbows out. You have to deliberately press the bar down to your lower chest lining here. So you're going to press it down this way, this way, this way. So lower chest lining. With that, you have to ensure your elbows neither they go this way nor they go this way. They should be perpendicular to the floor. Should be this and this. So this should be your arm position, a 90-degree arm angle. If this goes away, then the entire force producing angle is off, and then it's going to be haywire. If it's a heavier weight, your wrist is going to give, or your forearm is going to give, something elbow is going to give. And if it's inside, then again it places a huge amount of pressure on the elbow. So don't do that. It's always going to be the arms are going to be at 90 degrees. Plus, when you are bringing the bar down, you have to bring your chest up to the bar. That way it ensures you're further squeezing that upper back, and your upper arm does not go beyond the parallel level to the floor. If it goes beyond parallel, that means you're going to place a lot of stress on your shoulders. It may go 5 to 10 degrees maximum beyond parallel, but more than that, and the other day you're going to see, the next day, your front shoulders are very sore. That means it's placing a lot of stress on that particular area, and it's not very healthy. So engage your upper back that way. Now, as soon as the bar touches the lower chest, you have to have a big leg drive. From that locked leg position, locked foot position, you're gonna almost like a push from the lower body, and that force is transferred to the upper body, and then you're pressing it up. So it's almost like a cycle, right? So what happens is, when the bar is here and you're about to push it, you have a severe leg drive which transfers force from the lower to the upper body, and parallelly your upper back, you're going to imagine your upper back is going through the bench. You're going to imagine that it's breaking the bench and it's going down. So that way, instead of imagining you're pressing the bar up, you have to imagine you yourself are going down. Your upper back is pushing the bench down. So this force and this force, and the bar goes up. That is how you bench, right? So if you have any questions regarding bench or regarding any other exercise mechanics, please reach out. I'm gonna upload 2 more videos for deadlifts and squats as well, and for other important exercises. Stay tuned.